And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And there's a nice completion to Kobe Fleener, and no one can be happier than Drew Brees.
Yeah, he had Jimmy Graham for all those years, Ben Watson last year, and now coming south from Indianapolis, Fleener. Brees now on first down. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On second down, here's Brees. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run here with Hillman. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, it'll be Hillman. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So they held them out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. On the keeper, it's Brees. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I. They're running. Ingram denied on 4th and goal. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get up.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 2nd down, Ryan. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Surveying the field. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. but they don't get it. And now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Returnable here from the 38. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
20,
on second down, here's Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
On third down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's fourth down.
Now let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. One receiver left, two to the right. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. He'll dump it down to Hillman. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a New Orleans first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Breeze to throw on second down. Brought in left side by Snead. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. His throw caught at about the 5. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And here we go on. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Kuhn, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints have retaken the lead. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
11 yards on the pickup, and that leads to an Atlanta first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Connects with Sanu right side. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now Ryan on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Third and long. It's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 49 yards in the red zone this time. Defense showing blitz. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Third down, still 14 yards left. From the gun on third down, Ryan going for the deep ball. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Breeze. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And that is incomplete. Kobe Fleener, the tight end, his intended target. And now it's fourth down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline and kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. So the roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, and Charles, the defender, needs to know to stop there.
We've been talking about it for years. You essentially get one step after the quarterback throws his pass. Anything close to that or beyond that, you're going to get flags.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Making the stop there, the rookie Sheldon Rankins.
The best defensive lineman. They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And they're pushed back after the penalty, still second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. first down. Ryan. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second down following the incompletion. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. Trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run. It's the fullback, DeMarco. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, as the play call comes in on third down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. Now Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for the Saints. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, his third touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out in a good one as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Ryan. And that's caught by Tammy. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Ryan to throw. Connects with Sanu right side. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And that's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. 2nd down now after the incompletion. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. And that is incomplete. Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact and give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
Now it's Ryan. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Aldrick Robinson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And the lead will shrink to 6. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball to make a big play. Yeah. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now Breeze. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kobe Fleener, his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Throwing now is Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now it's and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Ryan. Going right side here, and that's complete. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
His throw caught right around the 6. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this...
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Ingram again. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Ready.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Saints, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
Hello, my name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up, I'm really good at putting words up. I make them levitate and circle with the birds. I don't need to force it, I let it occur. Whatever occurs, thank you. Feel like I was touched by an angel. Once again, a whole nother angle. I got a lot of holes in my angle. I got a lot of love and a whole lot of ignorance, and that's a good thing if you want to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. It's come out like a power within him. I get down like gravity, rackety rappers and raps rapidly follow the rabbit into the rabbit to being rapping and rattling, rattle riddles and ribbons into the sky. I'm a rebel feeling rhythmically right and vigorous from the right to the rhythm, widow to side eye. I am the killer in the grasses. I am the kid in the corner with the glasses. I am the specter, you should respect her. I don't expect it, special ain't special. I don't expect nothing. I'm just really glad I can say something. That's a blessing. Ain't no stress affecting my presence. But sometimes the pressure keep pressing. Worst keeps my impression impressed. That's the way to relate. I'm just trying to relate. I'm just trying to relate.